The amazing thing about the short film process is that you have a very small amount of time with which to tell your story, and we pour over every detail that appears in the frame to make sure it's all supporting the story. So, as an example from Feast, the story takes place over about 12 years of a man's life and his relationship with his dog. And you'll see, if you're paying close attention, the props changing in the background indicating the time is passing. So it starts off where he's using VHSs and he's dialing into AOL, and by the end of the film the technology has changed and none of that stuff is there anymore. Those are really subtle things that hopefully somebody who's watched it many, many times will pick up and realize the passage of time that we're going through in the story. That's the kind of attention to detail a short demands, because there's no time to explain anything else. I produced another short film which won the Oscar for animated short 2 years ago, called Paperman. You know, it's incredible. It's incredibly validating to have others of your peer filmmakers judge that you've made something that worthy is an incredible compliment. I think probably what's even more meaningful, though, is the fact that that opens even more doors and more audiences see your work. At the end of the day, we're all artists, and what we really want to do is show our work. It's a really long process to make each shot, to craft each shot. It goes through multiple variations. So we start off by storyboarding exactly what's going to happen in the scene. Then we move it into layout, which is where the guys set up the camera and exactly how the camera is going to move. Then goes into animation, and animators bring the characters to life. Then it goes into effects, and in our film they're doing things like the kibble and the stretching cheese. And then it goes into lighting, where they place the lights to make sure you see exactly what the director wants you to see and not focus where the director doesn't want you necessarily focusing. We did a special process in this movie because of the really short depth of field, where we put in what we call live air. So if you look at shots, there's just gentle specks of dust floating in the air to give it more of a sense of volume and space. And the whole time there's also artists, visual development artists, designing all the props, and we're building them and moving them into the scene and just setting up everything so that our story tells you exactly what we want you to know about our characters. In general, what makes a great animated film is themes that everybody can relate to, whether it's love, whether it's jealousy, whether it's competition, etc. And what I think is so profound about what Patrick Osborne did in Feast is he made a world that we all live in. We all feed our dogs under the table. We all do it. We all also have been through that moment in a new relationship where you're trying to eat better and you're trying to impress the other person with how good you are. And that's what I find so wonderful about the movie, is it makes you laugh and it makes you cry because you recognize the moments in your own life.